Hello and welcome to our video series on Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. My name is John Smith, Director of Enterprise Business Solutions at CR Group, Acquisitive Company and Microsoft partner. In this video, I'll be discussing why now is the time to take your ERP to the cloud with Business Central, and more importantly, the many benefits you will realize by making the move. So just before we get started, just a little on my background. I have worked for the last 20 years with Microsoft Dynamics and primarily the on-premise applications, specifically Dynamics GP. Really looking forward to taking you through some of the best parts of Business Central. So let's start with the benefits of moving to the cloud and why the time is now. One of the things that most of our clients appreciate is that they can stay current on the latest technology. In fact, in the world we live in today, Microsoft does 2 updates every year in the spring and the fall, and you automatically are able to take those into your tenant right away and always have the latest and greatest up-to-date software from Microsoft. We also see that there's a potential to reduce costs and free up IT resources as a major benefit of a solution like this. And lastly, and perhaps most importantly, backing Business Central is Microsoft's world-class security, privacy, and reliability. The value that Business Central brings is significant, and you'll see this as we go through the presentation today. Let's start with a modern architecture. It's 100% web-based. There is a mobile app that covers almost everything you would do inside the product. It's licensed under a traditional on-premise model, but more importantly, a SaaS model. And you can have a pay per user per month for your licensing. There's deep BI capability leveraging Microsoft's Power BI tools, and it makes it really easy to serve up data for Power BI and even in Excel. There's robust workflow capability to help keep everybody on track with what's expected of them, what needs to be approved, and that is a really important component that's in here. The functionality mirrors the on-premise Dynamics products such as Dynamics GP and SL. And transition to Business Central from those products is supported by cloud migration tools that have been built to help you easily and seamlessly make the move from on-prem to BC. There's fast user adoption with this. You'll see the look and feel and user experience is fantastic. Lastly, and most importantly, if you need to extend Business Central, Microsoft AppSource provides a huge library of additional product capability that's been developed by Microsoft partners. And even if you had to customize Business Central for some reason, the extensions are easy to do and easy to manage. As you can see from this slide, the core capability set really mirrors all of the things that the on-premise products have. This does not do justice to just how deep the functionality goes here. But suffice to say, you are covered from financial core accounting and financial management, sales accounting, sales orders, sales invoices, and sales processing. Project accounting and project management capabilities are here. The system's very deep in supply chain and operations, including distribution and manufacturing, where it's quite strong. And lastly, as I've mentioned before, really deep reporting and analytics capability built into the product. My top 10 list, we've gone through probably 25 to 30 Business Central implementations in the last year and a half, and I've developed this coming out of it. First and foremost, the usability, user interface, and speed is excellent. I would say it's world-class. I'll go a step farther. I'm going to say it's best in class. Extensive use of smart lists. For those of you who are Dynamics GP fans and loves the Smart List feature, you need not worry. It's here in Business Central, and it's a concept called filter list views. And we'll be touching on that today as we show you the product. It has deep integration to Outlook, Teams, and as we've mentioned, the AppSource extensions that provide unlimited possibilities for extensions and growth of the platform. The mobile app is fully featured. There's a search capability in the product that really mirrors like a Google search, and we'll show you that. It's got a much more flexible chart of account structure than Dynamics GP, and that's something we're going to touch on in one of the videos that we do. There's web services capability throughout the platform. That's going to help with integrating other business applications, as well as just services that are already pre-established, like updating foreign exchange rates, or perhaps polling your bank every 5 minutes to see if a check is cleared and updating your bank record. There's the simplicity of the project module. It's referred in here to jobs, and that's something else we'll touch on in one of the videos in this series. Lastly, there's a OData feed capability that really brings the data out of Business Central and serves it up for Power BI. I'll also mention that out of the box, if you're a Dynamics CRM client, there is a built-in integration between Dynamics CRM, or what's known now as Dynamics 365 for Sales, and Business Central. With that in mind, let's take a look at the product itself, and we'll show you some of the strong features that are built in here. So let me just start on the home page of Business Central. We're logged into the sample company Kronos, and I just want to point out a little bit about how this is arranged. First and foremost, it is a role-based user experience. So you're going to, as a user, have different insights, different tiles, and different KPIs that you're looking at depending on what role you're slotted into. As we navigate through here, you can see that there are headlines that we'll look at. There's key activities and KPIs that show up. We have tiles presenting us with pieces of information. And as we continue to scroll down and understand what we need to look at and what we need to do, we've got approval requests coming through workflows, perhaps a timesheet that I need to fill up or look at, and overall insights around the business, top 5 customers by sales value, even favorite accounts that I'm looking at. But here's the beauty of this. Across all of these tiles, KPIs, numbers, and insights, you can simply click on them and drill down to the transaction. So when I look at overdue sales invoices, I'm presented with a filter list view. For those of you who are big fans of SmartList and Dynamics legacy products, you're going to love this capability because at the click of a button, you can go ahead and open the list in Excel. You can also filter on the list and refine it to specific filters or criteria you want to see. You can see I was looking at one here for our US denominated invoices, and that filter is saved and I see only 2 of them. You can also change the columns and personalize the view to remove columns that perhaps you don't want to see in your view. But what's important about these lists is that the underlying transaction is a click away. And now I'm right back to the original invoice that was posted, and it's been served up on the homepage of Business Central. So a great feature that's here is just the ability to click through and drill through to the underlying transaction. But let's keep going with this story a little bit and talk about some of the other great features that are included here. Perhaps we should talk about Microsoft being Microsoft. And I always say when we're in presentations, nobody integrates better with Microsoft than Microsoft. Let me show you what I mean by that. I'm going to go to Outlook, and I've got an email that's come in, and it says, "Hey, John, we need a quote." Right up here, I've got an add-in for Business Central. It works with Office 365 or Microsoft 365 as it's branded now. And we'll go ahead and just click on Contact Insights. And immediately from within Outlook, what you're going to see happen here is insights about the specific contact appear in Outlook for me. And I can see right away that CRG currently has a balance with us. We've done 10 sales quotes. We've got 11 sales orders out there. We've sent and shipped 10 sales shipments. I've got some statistical information about the customer down here as well, and I can see some other core information like the dimensions we track for reporting against the customer. But here's the best part. From within Outlook, I can actually look at the balance. If I click on this, I can see the invoices making up the balance. And let me expand the window just so everybody can see what's happening here. And look at this. Now, I'm not in Business Central. I don't need to have the Business Central interface open because I can do this and look at this from Outlook. The other big value that we see within what Microsoft's done with the Outlook integration is from Outlook. If this customer is interested in a quote, I can actually come in here and generate the sales quote directly from Outlook. And you see in this list that sales quotes, invoices, orders, and credit notes can be done from Outlook, as well as, if this was a vendor, purchase invoices, purchase credit notes, or of course, a purchase order could be generated from here. So I'll go ahead and just say sales quote. Let's just take a look at what's happening here when we do that. I'll just expand that window so you can see it a little better. And you can see that right now, Business Central is trying to decide what to do with this piece of information that's in the email. And while it was working, it actually read the email. It looked in Business Central, and it suggested to me that perhaps this is what the customer is interested in. And if this is correct, I just say, okay. And actually what the system is doing is preparing the quote. It's reading from the customer ID, what customer they're associated with, and it'll bring the items in for me so that I can quickly complete the quote. As you can see, the Outlook integration is a huge win. And at a more basic level, just getting emails from customers and being able to say, hey, what balance do they have with us today? This is an excellent add-in and something many of our customers and prospects get really excited about when they look at the tool. Now, the other thing I want to point out is that although I just did a quick slide through the homepage here and showed you the KPIs and tiles, I want to show you that the full-featured mobile app that's in Business Central allows us to see the same things. So let me just go ahead and pull up on my screen the mobile app. And you can see here, I've got my iPhone open, and I'm going to go ahead and just open it up. Keep in mind that in the background of what you're looking at, the tiles and the numbers all match. You know, the 1450 in sales, low this month, not painting the best picture of the business, but let's remember it's the beginning of the month. We've got some overdue AR and some overdue purchases to make, but the big thing I'm pointing out is that all of everything in here matches exactly. It's real time, and when you're in the mobile app, all the things that you can do inside the product, you can do inside the mobile app. So if you want to look at your top 5 customers, they're available. If you want to look at, balances across your favorite bank accounts that you're keeping track of, I know the accountants out there probably like this. They probably have a few accounts they always got to keep their eye on, whether it's cash or bank accounts, whether it's, a deferred revenue or a liability account or sales revenue, you can look at that. And in fact, in here, you could also put in a P&L and understand your P&L. And speaking of that, look at this. We're looking at a P&L right now, total revenue, gross profit, all the way down to income before taxes. Everything, in fact, that you can access from the web browser, you can access from the mobile app. This includes all of the transactions you might do. This includes all of the reports you might look at. This also includes changing your role center or perhaps even changing the company that you're looking at. And so you can see right in here, I'm in as a business unit, business manager, and I'm logged into the Kronos company. I can actually change companies and look at this from within the mobile app. So Microsoft has done just a fantastic job integrating Outlook, a mobile app, Excel, and lastly, and perhaps most importantly, one of the key elements of Business Central. You'll see this as we go through some of the other videos within the product, but is this ability to harness the data and present it in Power BI. So if you are looking at a financial dashboard, this is served up directly from Business Central. These are fairly easy to change and develop with the OData feeds in the product. And if you're interested, you can do things like drill through to the details and see what makes up the numbers. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to book a full demo of Business Central and learn how we fully support you with our migration assessment program, please contact us or check out our website. In the next video, we'll look at a side-by-side comparison of GP and SL to Business Central.